initiative to help curb fetal alcohol spectrum disorder began earlier last week. Now, liquor stores, restaurants, and bars in Alberta have to display FASD prevention signs at their businesses. Customers will now be seeing more of these mandatory signs from the Alberta Gaming and Liquor Commission.
AGLC recognized an opportunity to support greater awareness and understanding of this issue and to bring the message that alcohol and pregnancies don't mix to places where liquor is sold and served.
I think it's just important to get awareness out there is the bottom line. The more that the people understand how much this can affect pregnancies and how it will affect upcoming generations is extremely important.
The AGLC says there are sanctions for failing to post the required signs, and inspectors will be working with businesses to make sure that they aren't complying.
Sanctions range from warning for the first offense, $250 fine for the second offense, and $500 fine for the third offense.
According to the AGLC, an estimated 450 babies are born with the disorder every year. FASD has no cure and includes a wide range of disabilities related to permanent brain damage caused by alcohol. Well, traveling from point A to point B has not been cheap lately, especially over the long weekend. Now, gas prices constantly fluctuate, and last week analysts say they climbed to a 2-year high. And Kanavate has more on what is causing the rise.
The simplest explanation for the skyrocketing prices:
demand is high and supply is low. Leaves high prices.
For us guys to go to town, it's 80 kilometers, so it gets expensive.
For me to get from Saskatoon to Edmonton, I need gas, so you pay it.
Wages aren't going up that much, and it's very hard on people.
Don't have buses in Lloyd, you got no choice, you got to drive.
And bringing the fuel to the consumer plays a big role in the price.
So what you're seeing is that fuel is being transported in from other parts of the country to meet the demands here.
Disruptions in the economy, such as refinery blow-ups, can't be anticipated, but will cause adjustments to the prices. Dixon says to keep an eye on the major decisions coming out of the pipelines and oil production that could change the gas landscape in the future.
President Obama, who has been delaying the decision on Keystone XL, had promised a month ago that he would come out in the next couple months. If it's a positive, then you're going to see the economy heat up a little bit more. You're going to see prices on oil and gas rise, gasoline prices rise just slightly.
Professionals are saying they are expecting to see the gas prices rise over the summer traveling season, and they're estimating $1.25. Anna Kanavate, Newcap News.
Well, it's time once again to turn back the clock and take a look at some past stories in retrospect this week from the archives. This time, Brian Hardy brings us stories about the career of broadcaster Wes Saunders, as well as the increase in the blue box business.
It's April 1990, and recycling is still a novel idea.
This is the extent of Lloydminster's only serious, widespread recycling effort. The Bottle Depot, operated by the Beef Fisher Center, collects liquor and pop containers for reuse by the various bottlers. Except for the beer and pop cans and bottles, just about all other garbage generated by the city ends up here, the landfill site. The city of Edmonton has another way. The Blue Box program encourages residents to separate recyclable glass, plastic, metals, and paper from non-reusable trash. Interest for a similar program in Lloydminster is high.
The city does have an opportunity now to participate in a Blue Box pilot program. The government of Saskatchewan has invited submissions from several municipalities on how they would tackle the project, but at this point, City Council has not even discussed making such a proposal. Glenn Kirby, Broadcast Center News.
This week in 1992, we celebrate the career of Wes Saunders.
There have been a lot of changes, both technical and personal, in the TV news you've been seeing and Wes has been providing. Here's a look at the set of Midwest Report from the fall of 1987.
Good evening. Free trade talks are in full swing. We'll have
Earlier in the 1980s, the look was certainly different. The faces and backdrop may or may not look familiar, but Wes was there. And the noon hour newscast, Focus on 4, featured a community event segment that had West talking to virtually every local organization. But through all the years, all the styles, Midwest Television has been built around the familiar face of Wes Saunders. Today we celebrate 30 years of serving the Midwest together.
Join us next time for Art Portraying Artist. I'm Brian Hardy for Retrospect, this week from the archives.